Hey guys, welcome back to the Detour Live, and thanks again for all your likes, shares, and subscriptions to youtube.com/Detour podcast. Does make a difference. I'm your host, Dan Jones, as always, joined by four-time national road champion from Australia, Johnny Trevorrow, and Jumbo Visma rider and national champion as well from New Zealand, George Bennett. GB, welcome to the Detour.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're so excited, aren't you? You love these podcasts, mate. Let's be honest.
No swearing on this one.
Yeah.
No, well, George doesn't normally swear. It's me and Bills that have got the potty mouths. But
yeah, I'm trying to clean our show up.
We have to. If it's got any sort of future, I think we're going to have to really develop a swear jar at least, and maybe we could donate all the proceeds to the Correca Foundation. But anyway, massive stage of the Vuelta. Yesterday, stage 17. We tried to look into the crystal ball, Iffy, and I don't think anyone predicted Roglic, although we knew, he's the best climate. Did you?
You look back at your crystal ball, mate. I said he would win the stage.
Do you think he'd win like that, though?
No, I didn't. But before we get on the stage, we've got George on. He's superstar, and he's looking very relaxed. So he's obviously not riding in the Vuelta.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Roglic. He knows Roglic. That's what I was going to lead into.
I know all our lovely fans would like to know a little bit about George. We'll go into all that in a minute, mate.
I thought George is a household name. I just assumed.
Anyway. All our fans, they don't listen to your that Kiwi podcast. They don't know what George is doing.
Okay, well then ask him a question.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing either. That's the problem half the time.
So what's your program at the moment, mate? What's
everything. I'm doing my own Grand Tour. I'm not doing the Vuelta, but I'm doing. I've been on the road for a while actually. Late minute call up from into Poland. Went straight up to Norway. Then I spent a week doing the actually being a domestique duties. My girlfriend was doing a big running race in France, so I went and ran support for that. And then just come back here, and now I'm heading off to Britain. And then from Britain, it's into Italy. So yeah, it's the first year in my career actually since the start of my career that I haven't done the Vuelta. And so it's pretty interesting. I think I'd rather just knock it out in 3 weeks than go all over the show than what I'm doing.
What do you normally? Well, okay. Now you evolve on his answers. What do you normally think of doing the Vuelta? Is it a race that you like to do in the past?
Yeah. Every year I always get up and about for it, except for last year. Last year I did not want to go just because I had a couple of broken ribs and it was November, so that was the first year I wasn't completely G'd for the Vuelta, but in the end it turned out to be a great race and I was happy I was there. So yeah, no, I like the Vuelta. It's just a chilled out version of the Tour. They tend to ride a bit faster than the Tour, which is always weird. You think the Tour would be where the highest speeds are, but it's always the Vuelta. So it's a bloody hard race.
Now, insights, the great man Primoz Roglic, if he predicted the win, but there's no way you would have predicted that ride. What were your thoughts on yesterday's stage?
Oh man, that guy's got some balls though. No, I'm obviously been his teammate for years and done a lot of races with him. But yeah, still a fan. And actually for me the coolest thing about that day, have you seen the photo yet where Sepp's coming up to get second and Roglic is riding down to the bus? And like Sepp's like smiling at him, like laughing as he's about to get second. He's still in the middle of it, like a bunch for him.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
So Primoz had just rolled past him, and there's this moment where they're looking at each other, and Sepp's like laughing, and like Primoz is smiling, and it's like, casual 1-2 on the mythical Lavos de Covadonga. So pretty special from the guys.
But we've said a few times with Roglic's racing style, like particularly that stage when he binded on the descent, everyone's like, why is he taking these risks? Is he such like an impulse rider?
No, he's not. He's not. He doesn't. He thinks about everything, But he wouldn't have just random. He might not have said anything about doing that attack to anybody, but he would have been thinking about it for a while. He doesn't just at that moment go, I'm going. But genius thing of him is he turned that, like a lot of people straight after that were giving him shit, like leading the Vuelta, taking these risks, this and that. And some genius marketer from behind the scenes turned this into a whole line of very successful merch with the "No risk, no glory" tagline, and suddenly turned an absolute loss into a win. So he's done well there. But yeah, no, I think he's. I mean, you saw. Did you guys watch País Vasco this year? How he won that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty similar to yesterday, really. And I think he didn't need to do it. And if he felt tired, he wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? If he felt like, oh, this is risking the Vuelta, he wouldn't have done it. But he's just that good.
Yeah. You were obviously with him at the Tour.
Yeah,
John, you were obviously with him at the Tour de France in 2020. And I mean, that was bloody heartbreaking, you know, to lose it on the penultimate time trial. Do you think he's taken learnings from that and he's going to almost tweak the way he rides a Grand Tour? Or do you think he's just always going to be the same as what he is?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he. I mean, for sure he learned stuff, but the only thing you think he learned there is that he can't back himself to beat Pogačar in a time trial. You know what I mean? He can't. Versus everyone else, he can just take time bonuses and beat them in the time trials. But with Pogačar, he you know, on a good day, they're pretty even. You know what I mean? Like, so he needs to take other time somewhere else. So that's what he learned from that tour. But yeah, I think he just likes to race like that, and Pogačar also likes to race like that. You saw how he won the Tour, and like I think that's why it was pretty gutting for cycling fans in general when he crashed out of the Tour this year, because that's what everybody wanted to see. And there's a showdown coming. You know, there's a showdown coming in the future where Bernal is in good nick. He's not in good nick at the Vuelta by his standards. Where Remco's, you know, gets up for it, and then you have the two Slovenian boys come together, and that's going to be that's kind of the showdown everyone's waiting for, and hopefully that comes, you know, next year or the year after or something like that.
We've got a couple of live comments, John, just quickly. Wendy Superfan, we do listen to it, John, talking about the Social Distance podcast, of course. Lisa Dimmick says, "Hi, George. Are Primoz and Sepp as cool as they seem to be? Hope you're excited to be riding with today soon."
Today? Oh, yeah, right, today.
The other guy, you know, the other one?
Not today and tomorrow, today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, they're good blokes. Yeah, I got a lot of time for them. I mean, Sepp lives in my neck of the woods. He's good, great blokes. Got definitely miss riding with them for sure. But excited to ride with today. He also seems like a super good guy. So, they're as cool as they seem.
Will Wizard, he wants to know, I'm a real GB fan and I'm not a Kiwi. Can he believe he's going to get the same opportunities at UAE?
More opportunities.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Okay.
I got two more. Pushkar says, "Hey George, love from India. One question: what will you expect the dynamics of the peloton to be after your switch to UAE? Will it be weird competing against Primoz, Sepp, and Co. in the mountains?"
Yeah, I have actually thought about that, and it'll be weird, but it's an exciting. I quite look forward to it, actually. You know, like the thought of going up against these guys, and you know, cycling, it's always like professional. You know, you do your job and this and that, or you go for the win and try not to, you know, try and leave it on the road and then come back in. But you know, when you really know someone, you've been riding with them for 6-7 years. Of course, there's personal elements involved, and you know, and there's egos and grudges and all those things that come into cycling, I think racing against them will be interesting. But you know, people always love to play up the whole showdown of Jumbo Visma versus Ineos or Jumbo versus UAE, or you know what I mean. And these battles, and you can't worry just about one team. There's so many good riders now from all these other teams. And if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to race against Jumbo Visma, and 20 other teams, so you know, easy to for it to be nothing as well.
Last fan question, and he's a big fan. It's Jason Cruz from the Amila Resorts in the Maldives. Top of the afternoon. Hey, GB, will you get a chance at GC next year?
Yes, yep, that's one of the big reasons behind the move as well. Going to target a few of the stage races, 1 week stage races, and then obviously be a helper a fair bit of the time as well with today and some of the guys that are going there. But then hopefully have a crack at another Grandie at some point as well. So, definitely going to give it a nudge. And I think, with the way cycling's going now, you have to run a couple of GC guys. It helps, not only in case one crashes out, but it also gives you another card to play if, so you can send one up the road, force other teams to chase. So to keep a couple of guys in the classification is always super handy.
Now you can go, John.
Well, that was my question.
Oh, really?
I really wanted to know, what your plans are and what enticed you to make the move. Was it your call or did you get approached?
Well, it was something I've been thinking about for a while. I've been 7 years in the team, and that's a long, long time. And it's been great, and I've really enjoyed it. But I'm now coming into the best years of my career. Get stronger every year, and this year's just been absolutely terrible in terms of how the races have gone. In terms of training and form, everything's been far better than I've ever done. And just it's always been sickness, crashes, weather, all things that just have just turned into a shocking year for me. And and that's what got me thinking. Maybe it is time to mix it up. New environment, change, and the trajectory I'm going on. Sometimes you just think, okay, if I change, it might be worse. Maybe I'm already running at 100%, or maybe a new environment can get more out of me. And it's a risk, and it's a exciting risk to go somewhere. And UAE really believed in me. When we started talking to teams, these guys were ringing me all the time, going, "Look, this is what we want from you. This is what we can provide you." And you just start looking at their science, the resources they have, the stuff with Alan Piper's doing with the aerodynamics, the trainers, the nutrition, everything around it. They just have so much resources, and they're building this super strong team. I mean, you look at the other guys they signed as well. That it just made me feel like, okay, these guys really know what's going on, and if I'm going to make a change from Jumbo, then these guys seem like the best setup. And so far that's been my experience with them. They've been really, really good, and already been a few things getting ready for next year, and very, very good operation so far.
I've got another question from Ryan. He says, would George not go for GC in the Vuelta with the weather being a bit better than the Giro? He might not need those hot teas to stay warm. I think on the podcast I suggested hot teas. You said that was like pissing on a bushfire on those cold days.
I think I would like to have another, obviously today we're riding the Tour. And there I think it'll be running behind him. But I'd love to maybe have a crack at the Vuelta again. It was the first time I ever got top 10. The Grand Tour was there 5 years ago, something like that. So, I'd like to go back to the Vuelta and have a crack.
Will Wizard said, and a lighter bike, GB. Who are they riding? I'm obviously not obsessed with bike brands.
Colinago.
Oh, yeah. You've ridden a Colinago before?
Nah, I don't know. I don't think it will be lighter bike. Maybe lighter than my aero bike. I don't know. I think they're the same. I think bikes are pretty much on the weight limit these days, aren't they? Our bikes, their bikes.
Scott Davies wants to know, how hard is it to move to new equipment? Is it a challenge, or is it the gear so good that it's pretty much the same across brands and teams?
No, it's tough because this time it's not just changing frames like we did last year. From Bianchi to Zavello, where we kept everything else, handlebars, saddles. I mean, this time I'm getting new pedals, so you have new cleat system, new saddles, new handlebars, new bikes. Then you have Campagnolo instead of Shimano. So every single thing is different, which makes it a lot of getting used to. I mean, the shoes and the pedals and things, that's the tough one. I'll be changing, so all that stuff. So you kind of want to do it slowly and try and, they're already measuring up bikes and looking at what I'm running this year and trying to sort of match it as closely as they can with their brands. But it's a big change.
It used to be tough. Back in my day, your shoes, like now you buy a shoe and they're you get the same brand, you can jump straight into a new pair of shoes. Back in the old days with leather soles, you wore them in. And I remember a tour of Tassie, pouring rain, we had a lunchtime stop, and my old man whacked my shoes in the oven just to thaw them out a little bit and forgot about them. They came out all twisted at the right the afternoon stage. Oh, bloody hell, that hurt. But anyway, let's go back to the old days.
Tour of Tassie's good for that, the old double stages. I was thinking I was there for 6 days and rode about 18 stages.
Double stages. So looking at the GC, Iffy, there's obviously been a shake-up. You've got Roglic on top, Mas in second, Lopez in third, and Jackie Haig. He's only 3 minutes and 46 seconds behind. Has his form this? Yeah, I was going to say, what's your take on his form this year?
Yeah, unreal, super good. I mean, he looked in the tour already like he was going to do something special, and had a pretty nasty break collarbone, like far worse than a normal collarbone break. And I just didn't think he'd be able to get back up in time. And man, he's just. He went up the start of the Vuelta, lost a bit of time, and it looked like, he was really paying for all that time off. And then he got in the break one day, took a bunch of time back, and ever since then he's been away. He's back on form. So I think he's also quite fresh in terms of, he didn't ride the whole tour. He didn't have a full build-up, which I think is going to pay off for him today, tomorrow, whatever, backing up in these big days. But they're into the meat of it now. If they get through today, then you've got.
Well, this is the profile for today's stage.
Oh, okay. And where are they going? Oh, Cordal.
It's a new climb at the end. How do you pronounce that, Iffy?
Yeah, they reckon it's. Oh, I'm not even going to attempt it, but they reckon that is the toughest. It makes yesterday's stage look easy. It's that steep. It's got ramps of 20%. It is a monster of a thing. So
they're bastards, those Vuelta organisers. They always sniff out these new roads.
Yeah.
I remember we did this one, Las Muchachas or something, Muchicos, and they just sniffed out this climb and they,
put a goat track at the end, yeah.
And you're looking on Google Earth and there's nothing on there because it doesn't exist yet. And then they managed to find a truck to slab some concrete on there, and then.
But does that how much does it shit you as a rider? Because we've talked a few times that final week mentally, even for the staff, everyone's cooked at a granny. It doesn't matter which one you're doing, but that final week, are you obviously in GC? You have to look at the stages, but there must be a lot of guys that open the book and just go, "Oh, you're shitting me." Like
I know a couple of guys that live like that, and a couple of guys that operate Grand Tour life by opening the book and going, "Oh, this is on tomorrow," and they do it. They rip out the pages, and then they look at the next day and they go, "Oof, all right." I know everything. I know what's coming.
Yeah, give me the pain now.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I have to sort of, okay, is this a day? You need to know how many opportunities you got left, or when to squeeze, when to save, when to, you got to gauge your effort to the stage, but you've got to gauge your effort over 3 weeks as well. Which generally you just go on full gas every day if you're riding GC, but you do. It helps to know, I think.
We're talking to Jack Haig the other day, and he was talking about stage 18. And he said the good thing about having such a hard, steep climb is there's nowhere to hide with your form. The longer, slower ones, people can sort of get in position and that. Whereas this final climb, whoever's got the legs, it'll clearly show.
Well, the thing with Haig's, with that sort of train of thought, is when he says the good thing about it, depends what side of the argument you're on. I mean, if you're creeping, it's not good at all.
Well, he must be confident if he's saying that then.
Yeah.
Tonight, it really, I think we'll decide whether Jack can get onto the podium, because all he's got to do is just hold Lopez, because he'll take more than 30 seconds out of him in the final time trial. So he's 3 seconds down. So he's just got to hold him tonight, and I think he can get onto the podium. But
the reason I'm backing Jack in here also is because this day, Lopez knows this is his last chance. So Lopez will be going absolutely mental today. And he's good at this stuff, high altitude, steep. So Lopez will take, I'd say, a bit of time out of Jack today. But not the only thing, but one big tick in Jack's box is that he's got a super strong team. Jack in the Box. He's got a super strong team, and they're all pulling for him. He's got Landa went home yesterday, but I think Walt Pools is there, Gino Maida, and they're all just laying on the line for him, and they're letting Jack's a big guy. He can't follow the accelerations like let's say you're more pure climbers or whatever. So he just lets them go, and they just pace him back, and then. Yeah, that seems to be working for him well. So I don't think he's going to lose too much time at all.
When you get to this pointy end, how many guys do you need? Like if you're in form like Primoz is, he doesn't really need a lot of guys. But how many traditionally do you need? Coming into this part of the Grand Tour.
Oh, it's changing because when you're as good as Primoz, that means everybody's looking to flick you. So it's like everyone just piles on. If So Movistar got two guys, second and third. One of them goes up the road, and then everyone from 4th to 10th is looking at you, going, "Well, you're the strongest guy. You fix it." So actually, the better you are, the more guys you need, which is counterintuitive because you can't just follow everything.
Yeah. Well, why don't we ask the man himself about the tactics for Bahrain? The sheriff. Welcome back, Neil. Congratulations on yesterday's stage. It was a fantastic team ride to get around Jackie Haig. Were you happy with the boys? Oh, no. The sheriff's internet.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was a top day yesterday.
Yeah.
You with us?
Yes.
Am I there?
You're right.
Yeah, you're with us, mate.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, bloody a really good ride yesterday by Jack and the boys. They knew when to react and go after those bloody Jumbo Visma fellas that Bennet and Georgie's got there. They were ripping it up yesterday. But bloody fantastic. Like not only Jack was going good, the boys, Walt Pauls, Caruso, Gino, all the boys were going bloody fantastic. And so we pull off not a bad result yesterday, and hopefully we can do something similar over the next couple of days.
Iffy?
I was just disappointed with Mikel Landa pulling out. I mean, he obviously showed a bit of good form early in that stage. It was a big ride to get from the back group to the front. But then when the pressure came on, obviously he cracked a bit. But I just thought, hey, pull out and go home. I mean, seriously, couldn't he be there being some help for Jack?
Yep. Spot on the money. Yeah.
That's
okay.
All right.
Yeah, he's a big champion. He's a good bike rider, but it would have been nice to he obviously is not going fantastic. He tried to give it a bit of a test and see how he's going, and he must have made his own conclusions and worked out he was performing below par, and it would have been nice if he had a thought that we might have needed him over the next couple of days. But anyway, it is what it is, and all the best to him.
Well, we spoke to Jack Haig the other day, and he said this final climb, Neil. He said it's bloody good because it's really you can't hide. If you've got the legs, it's going to show on that climb. Is he getting this sort of sheriff confidence rubbing off on him, mate? Because that's a statement of someone that is confident in his legs.
Yeah. No, we got a young fellow in our team running 10th in the GC, and he's a little bit like Georgie. He's very faithful, very dedicated to the hard up climb to Los Lagos. He just set a really nice pace in front of Jack. Didn't be phased by different people attacking and he paced Jack into the final really once. Yeah, this sort of climb suits Jack. He's like he's going to be like about an hour, just churning away on a pretty steep climb, some little smaller gears. So hopefully, once George does and pace how we go.
Got most of that. I think the internet's
I thought Maida was absolutely brilliant yesterday. As you say, Wood Poles as well earlier on, especially. But in that last 3K when the pressure was really on, the way he just let them picked the pace, grabbed them back gradually, just absolutely did it perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys, I'm going to shoot,
The thing-
but
Yep.
Neil, all the best, mate. Good to see how the boys are going, and everyone's back in Hague again for a big one. So all the best from me, and I hope those pricks don't give you too much trouble.
Thanks, George.
Okay. Neil wants to
I might send you
respond.
a quick message. Just George, I might just get you a couple of tips on how to go against them yellow teammates of yours.
Killer wasps.
Yeah, hit them hard, hit them early. Hope for the best.
Good on
All
you,
right,
George.
boys.
Hey, thanks for being on the detour, mate.
See you
Appreciate
guys.
it. See you, mate.
See you, George.
I thought you were going to respond with, "Hey, don't piss in me pocket, chap."
No, he's a good fella, Georgie.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. We were just talking with him about, he's jumping ship. He's leaving Primoz and to go into today. So not today, but very soon.
Yeah. I heard.
He's
heard
heading
a
off to
couple
the
of
Tour of
rumours
Britain.
about that. Yeah.
So what is the plan of attack today, Sheriff?
I don't know if it's a plan of attack for today or a plan of attack for the next few days. Today's the lumpiest day. Bloody hard finish up the. I can't even pronounce this climb, and
Well, we're not trying.
And then but basically, the thing is, we're not in a bad spot. It'd be better if we can get closer to the lead. But at the moment, with Jack's really worked hard on his time trial as well. Hopefully, we can pull a bit of time out of a couple of different rivals there. So it's a bit of a trying to work out where to spend what energy and how. And so on a climb like today, that's really the gloves are off. Like you can attack, you can do whatever you want, but it's bloody hard, bloody long, and then you just all the best here. The teammates really can't help you that much. So it's a matter of getting through today, working out, getting the pen and paper out again, and trying to work out the calculations over the next few days as well.
How important is that mindset, Neil? Is like with particularly younger riders, riding within your limits and not sort of tipping them into the red. I remember back in the early days when you were dealing with Esteban, it was so calculated where you'd know where his body was at. You're working in with the team, and then it was all about managing those efforts.
Yeah, it's a little bit. You're exactly right, and I think it's a little bit like spending your pocket money. You get $5 off your dad every week, and buddy, if you wash the cars and that sort of stuff, and then you can't be going out and spending buddy $10 one week and then hoping to have money to go to the movies the next week. And so it's just about whatever you spend today. Well, then you haven't got it tomorrow, and just spending the right amount of energy, saving up, and then maybe in a couple of weeks' time you can go to the movies. I don't know. Yeah.
It's a good analogy. But do you think that keeps...
When I used to wash my dad's car, I used to nick it and go and try and pick one of the birds up around the corner. But anyway, it's another story.
but do you think that approach, Neil, it keeps the rest of the group calm because you're not riding on emotion?
You break up there a little bit, mate. What can you repeat that?
I said, do you think that approach is also good for the rest of the group because it keeps them calm because you're not riding on emotion?
Yeah, it's broke up once again. But the negative thing of this is that not the biggies that they've got, and everyone's sort of a bit scared of picking it up. But once again, it adds for some great racing. Like. I know, for example, Adam, he was a bit limited yesterday. He had Bernal up the road. He was itching to attack, and he couldn't do it. They went in a bit of a gap. Probably Lopez is a guy that can make a bit of an attack today. And then you got guys sort of just waiting for the time trial. And so everyone, us directors, we sit down and try to work out who's going to attack when and what we can allow and what we can't do and that sort of stuff. And sometimes we can't do much about it. We just have to take it on the chin.
Iffy?
Yeah, my feeling on this climb, if you can whack it up there again, it's got, as you see, ramps of 20%, and so Alto del Gamoniteiru.
That's close enough.
It's close enough. It's a monstrous thing. We haven't raced it before. But you like my Spanish, Neil? Is it good?
Bono. Yeah.
But Lopez is the worry. That's who we all think that Jack's got to keep close so he can beat him for that third spot on the podium. But I reckon Lopez will probably take some time out of him when it gets that really steep. It might be a lot, 20 seconds or whatever. But that's the Superman. That's what he loves. Those really steep, high altitude. It'd be very hard for Jack to completely contain him.
Did you get that, Neil?
Yeah, sorry, mate. The internet's got a bit average. I got most of that, but the thing is, for the punters at home.
You there, mate? Never a dull day on the detour. Yeah, you're right, mate. You got to pay that hotel bill, Neil.
I'll try to keep on my internet at the same time.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Why don't we take a quick drinks break, and then when we come back, the Wi-Fi will be cherry ripe. We'll only need another 5 minutes to pick the sheriff's brain, if you got time.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, let's have a quick break.
Look at this bike. You think it's just a bike, right? But it's not. It's a bike 374 people are looking at. This guy, this girl, them, all looking at it. People from here, there, and wherever this is. People that are looking for a bike. Or just a piece of it. Amateurs, semi-amateurs, and pro-amateurs. This guy wants this bike, but with this crank and these bars. This could be the perfect match. But not this one. This girl has a bike to sell, and thousands of people might purchase it. Eyes on Bikes help grow small businesses. His, hers, yours, and the latest data and insights help those businesses keep moving. We are the world's #1 bike marketplace, with over 500,000 products and 900 brands, where buyers and sellers are brought together in a place where a bike is never just a bike. Bike Exchange, where the world buys, sells, learns, and rides.
Life is like a two-way street. It's about consideration and mutual respect. Roads are much the same. However you get around, walk, ride or drive, if we share our roads, we can all be safer. The Amy Gillett Foundation is Australia's peak cycling safety charity. Our mission is for safe cycling in Australia. Our vision is for 0 cyclist deaths. Over the last year, we've seen an enormous increase in people taking up cycling, whether it be for recreation, with the family, commuting, or even to start your own cycling career. We need to do more to make it safer for every cyclist. 20 cyclists every day are hospitalised, and 1 cyclist is killed every 10 days on Australian roads. So, the next time you jump on your bike or hop in your car, remember to practice the 4 C's. Be courteous, calm, considerate and conscientious. Every cyclist death is preventable, and we all deserve to get home safely. Please donate to help the Amy Gillett Foundation make the roads safer for you and for me.
Thanks again to Bike Exchange and the Amy Gillett Foundation. We've got Sheriff for another 5 minutes. Iffy, what was the last question you asked before I cut out?
Well, just talking about it's just so steep on those that last climb that it will probably suit Lopez a little bit more. It'll be very hard to contain him completely.
Yeah, obviously the best coverage of the Vuelta is here on the detour, but anyone that's watching the race on telly, you can probably compare the climb today to El Angliru, which we've done on many other occasions, and I know you, Dan, you've seen that before. And it's a little bit, there's less ramps, but it's a lot more constant. And so I tend to think that today, obviously, watts per kilo, so how strong you are per kilogram is really important. A little fella like Lopez or Adam Yates obviously got a bit of advantage over Jack. But I tend to think that when it's that steep, your teammates a bit of a psychological help to you, but it's actually not that much physical help. There's no drafting as such. And so basically you get there. I know Jack's just going to, he'll probably just do his own pace. Whether Lopez is a couple of yards in front of him or a couple of, like 20 seconds, it doesn't really matter. He's just going to pace his energy from the bottom to the top, which may even take up towards an hour. And hopefully the calculations come out more on our side than Lopez's.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I think there's some fantastic insights, Sheriff. Is there anything else, Iffy?
You've nailed it. No, that's perfect. It's exactly what I reckon as well.
Well, just the final one from me. How much left over from that $5 is in Jack's account?
No, he's going okay. He's got his pocket money from last week as well. He's ready to go.
Yeah,
so,
good. He hasn't blown at the cinemas.
Going down to the cinemas, getting a bit of popcorn, and so he should be right to go. We'll have a chat in a couple of days if you like and work out if I was right or wrong.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned last time we were talking to you, you had your bag with your laptop and everything, credit cards pinched. Have they found it?
No good news there. Actually, a little bit of more bad news. Well, I think I might have mentioned the other day, I put him in an insurance claim and they're going to, out of the €1,500 I've spent to try to replace things, they're going to reimburse him with 200. So there's a call out for the insurance mob to do a little bit better. And actually I had the last €20 in my pocket last night, and I bought the other teammates, my directors, a beer for my son's birthday. So that was it. I'm now 4 days from the end of the Vuelta. I haven't got a cent to my name, and looking for a good result. See if it'll pick me spirits up a bit.
Thanks for bringing it up, John. Perfect. Well, you'll find a way, Neil. You'll find a way, and I'm sure the champagne will be free if it all goes to plan, mate. So keep up the good work, and we'll check in a couple of days and see if there's any money for the candy bar.
Okay, good on you, fellas.
Thanks, Neil.
Neil, the Sheriff Stephens. It's always entertaining. This is the Sheriff. He's a bloody ripper. Yeah. But that's as I was saying, like his ability when I was at Greenwich to keep the group centered. Like there was no emotion. It was all very calculated and riding within your limits, And that does, I think, and obviously I'm not a rider, but I would think that has a massive calming effect on the rest of the group. When, it's not just based on emotion, like, we're going to watch this guy, and if he goes, you go with it. It's all just following the process. So,
well, Neil had to go through a process to get to that spot, because I can remember the real early days.
Oh, yeah.
Neil was very emotional.
Yeah, no, he did. He definitely evolved. Yeah, so how are we going with the silent auction, Iffy?
Well, I know that we have someone who's been trying to, they came through Facebook and were trying to get my email address. They were trying to email me. They have a bid in their mind. But
you got your script?
I have.
All right. Well,
it's all
before we...
Discover a tropical playground of powdered sugar sand, lush jungle, and crystalline waters. Milo Maldives luxury resort reeks of timeless style and endless bliss. Stand by for unexpected treats and indulgences. Delighting and surprising you is their hallmark. Mila's motto is to exceed your expectations. The sky is the limit.
Fantastic, mate. Just absolutely nailing it. And of course, the silent auction, if you're joining us for the first time, it is 5 nights at a waterfront villa, and it's for 2 adults and 2 children. That's breakfast and dinner, and it's worth $13,500 Aussie. And the current bid is at $5,250, I think, Johnny.
It is, but evidently there is someone in the wings, because who didn't get my email right. So there it is. It's John at cyclingevents.com.au, just put it through to that. Also, I just like to say we've been talking about the detour lockdown blues, because there are some people who are struggling. I was talking to a couple of mates today, and one of them was having a little bit of trouble, and the other one his wife was having a lot of trouble. Just can't look at watching the news. It's getting her depressed. So I said, well, you got to help people through. You've got to set some things to do in your day and have someone to talk to. Make sure she's got a girlfriend she can call, and so yeah. Neil Martin is the guy. There you go. Sorry, mate, it's got a ding. So, but I've been getting some wonderful emails from people. So I've been having a chat with them, online, and it's nice to know you're helping. Some people are really, it's getting them down, and the chaos of the Detour podcast is getting people through the fun and games.
Yeah, because a lot of the times they're watching it going, geez, thank God I'm not trying to navigate that nightmare. They probably feel better about their own routine. But I think another good tip, right, is there's different levels of people, feeling off. Sometimes it's good in the right moments when someone's a little bit off, and you sort of give them a helping hand and you pass on some tips and whatever, and they can take it. But then there's sometimes that if you've got friends that are genuinely depressed, what you don't want to do is project too much when they're in that moment, if that makes sense. What you just want to do is listen and just encourage them to talk because then it can get frustrating, because if you're trying to talk to someone that is in like a depressed like state, they don't want to listen to going, yeah, but come on, you can do this, and come on. They don't want to hear that. All you got to do is encourage them to just keep talking, because then the next day, hopefully they feel a little bit better. And just being that person can talk to, it's huge. It's huge. It definitely makes a difference. Velo, McVilly, sorry, quickly. Last night's entry is open for the Detour Kit Comp. Design it at apexcustomclothing.com.au. That's obviously designing the Detour kit for the Detour delegates. And the top 3 are going to be selected by Katie from the Amy Gillett Foundation. And then you're going to be able to vote on which design you like the best. Sorry, John.
And just to talk a bit more about that. So we're talking about the Detour kit. So we're asking anyone who wants to come and join us at Amy Gillett's Great Ocean Road, Gran Fondo, can be a part of our Detour group. We're going to all have breakfast together. We'll have some fun. We're going to get this kit designed and made. But you can buy the kit anyway. Whether you're doing the ride or whether you're in Britain or South Africa or in the States, like a lot of our listeners are, please be a part of this. So it's an exciting part. So and you buy the kit, and the monies will go to the Amy Gillett Foundation. There you go.
Some examples.
Yeah,
these are I'll show you the bright ones, because obviously they want them bright because it is about road safety. Here's another one, iffy. It's quite bright. That's a nice looking kit. It's obviously got a bit of black on it. This is just all out. This is looks like M&Ms. And this one as well. It's sort of like a fluoro camo setup. So there's been heaps of great designs. But keep them all coming, and go to the website, because it's on their landing page, and that's apexcustomaus.com. And Vaughan and the team will sort you out. But you've got one more day, because Katie's gonna select the top 3 designs, and there's a message. The Amy Gillett Foundation. We're so excited. So we're excited to get to the pointy end.
I just got a text from Katie. Now, Katie Brown is a superstar, as you know, but she's the marketing guru at the Amy Gillett Foundation. And, of course, she was a champion cyclist herself, and she was in that tragic accident that took Amy's life. So she's been on the journey, and she was very lucky to be able to walk again herself. So she's very much a part of this.
Yeah.
And
well, we don't want to upset her and the foundation. So it's sort of like, you guys pick the top 3. If you're happy with that, if there are any dramas, it's on you.
But we haven't been pushing it a lot at the moment, because everything's up in the air. I'm sure that the Amy Gillett ride will go ahead, because it's not till the end of October. But we'll fingers crossed and all of that. Well, fingers crossed and all of that. But we are going to have some giveaways, 3 giveaways to people to take the ride. So we're going to have a little competition. We'll get the Vuelta out of the way, and then we'll come up with a little competition. People can get involved
and submit who you want us to try and get on the show. We've already had Samantha say, hey, lads, any chance of getting Mitch Docker on before Paris-Roubaix? 100%. We can get Mitch.
Yeah.
And Will Wizard says, how about a wrap for Luke Durbridge in the Benelux Tour? He ran third.
Yes. Yeah. No, great effort. Well, he's a superstar, isn't he? And interestingly, we're talking about we're going to be talking straight after the Vuelta about the best Australian team you could put together right now with all of these superstars. If you had an Australian team and could just pick any Aussie that's riding in the pro scene or about to. And so Scotty McGorry and Dan and I are going to get involved in that. So we'll have some fun with that.
Well, you'll pick your best team for the classics, your best team for the Grand Tours. Who'll be the protected GC ride? I think it'd be a good debate. Be a great debate.
We've got to pick
because you've told everyone early,
Caleb.
some other show might pinch the idea. So if you see it on some other show,
we've got to pick between Caleb and Robbie McEwen for the sprinter because Robbie's made the cut.
Is this of all time or is this the current?
No, it's current. Robbie's making a comeback. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Hey, Gary Tilley, sorry I missed your question. Hey, Steve-O's Landa riding with you guys next year. That was funny. That was funny. When you asked me that question, I see that vein filling up with blood.
Yeah.
I was
the
like,
red cross. He got the red cross.
And he was just sort of swallowing his tongue a bit. He's like, yep. That would have been good if he hung around for a couple of days. But anyway, it's classic Sheriff. Anything you want to add before we go? Iffy, who's your tips for the stage?
Katie said Spratty just got married too, but she obviously wasn't watching last night's show because we had a picture of a wedding photo of Katie up there and her new partner,
Amanda,
which was
What you said Katie up there.
Spratty, I thought I said. Anyway, well, I meant to say Spratty.
Yeah.
So we didn't forget that, and
Who's your tip for stage 18, Iffy?
This is going to be a ripper. It really is going to be a ripper. I'm going to go with Adam Yates.
Adam Yates, that's a good one.
Well, he loves these really steep climbs, and he's just far enough down that Primoz won't worry. I mean, Primoz actually could probably.
It's 4 minutes 45 behind.
Yeah,
Yatesy?
yeah. I'm talking about he'll probably go in the last. It'll be all going in the last 4 or 5K, and Primoz won't chase him down. That's what I think. But it's just out there. I mean, if you're going on form, you'd say Primoz. I mean, hard to see him not being there. But Superman will also be a hard boy to beat.
Fellow McVilly, bling. No, not today, mate. Not today, mate. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time at the normal time to unpack a massive Stage 18. Keep supporting the show, as we said at the top. Subscribe, youtube.com/the Detour Podcast, and keep entering the competitions and keep putting in your bids for the silent auction. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you again tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Cheers.